So as a radiologist, you've been hearing a lot about AI at all of these conferences. What do you think about it?
It's actually really overwhelming. It's incredible that in the last 5 years, AI was non-existent at RSNA or any of the other radiology conferences, and now is just pervasive. It seems that every other talk is on AI with all sorts of terminology that is very difficult to understand. The exhibit halls seem to be filled with booths of companies that have AI products, and it's really, really difficult as a radiologist to walk through that exhibit hall, for example, and understand what any of the products do, and how I could apply them into my own practice.
So as a data scientist, what sort of things might I be able to do to help with that?
Well, maybe this is a human bias, but one of the, I think, biggest challenge is just understanding what the neural network is actually seeing and how it's making the determinations that it does. I think that if there was a way of understanding that, and maybe there isn't, but if there was a way of understanding that, I think it would be much more comforting when you're applying that in your current decision-making process as a radiologist.
So in your own work, what are some of the applications you think that AI might be able to help you with? And how do you see it impacting your sort of daily workflow?
Well, I think that there are a lot of parts of a radiologist's job that get very tedious. I think one of the most frustrating things often is the comparisons to priors. So you could have a patient who's had 10, 15 scans and having to compare over each one and say, oh, has this lesion truly grown, or is it a difference in technique? Is it a difference in slice thickness? I think that would be an area that would be immensely helpful in terms of just the tedium of day-to-day work.
How about quantification in general? Do you feel like there's a need for more quantification in your practice and what that might look like?
Yeah, I think that quantification could be useful. I think that, again, even just measuring lesions and measuring them consistently in the same way, in the same axis, could obviously be improved with quantification tools. In clinical radiology practice, we don't quantify that many things. But I think if there was a simple way of doing it that didn't require, a lot of extra time, I think that would be, definitely useful.